And tonight, St. Louis County prosecutors believe there is a connection between a man shot and killed in his Ferguson home and the rape of a 15-year-old girl. And Justina, they seem to reveal what a motive for that murder.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this morning, 39-year-old rape suspect Lavor Harmon was in court for a bond hearing. A judge granted the prosecutor's plea to increase his bond to $2 million, saying he's a danger to the community and the victim. But this case doesn't end there.
In St. Louis, Missouri, a single father of three received horrifying news from his 15-year-old daughter the week of March 21, 2025. The young teen, who was said to be going about her school day as normal, was stopped by a man after she got off the school bus. The two were said to have a brief conversation, and before the male left and went about his way, the two would exchange numbers. The man's motives at the time were unknown, as well as the reason he stopped to talk to an underage girl. Despite the oddness of the situation, the two would link up later on that day, and the male was said to have taken the teen shopping. It appears that whatever he said to convince her to link up with him, the teen did not realize the danger she was putting herself in. After the shopping, the male's true intentions became fully clear once he took the 15-year-old to a home where he violated her in the worst way. He appeared to have a sinister plan from the moment he met her walking down the street, and once the teen was able to get away from him, she went and told her father everything that took place. Her dad, 41-year-old Kcorree Warren, listened carefully as his daughter explained the terror she went through inside the home. Like any caring girl dad, he was devastated by the news he was hearing and went directly to the police station to report the heinous crime. By May 2025, the man was indicted, which preceded the suspect's arrest, and in June, while still in the free world, he was indicted again by a grand jury. The alleged suspect, 39-year-old Lavor Harmon, was charged with 1 count of statutory rape and 3 counts of statutory sodomy, according to court documents. Through the investigation, authorities eventually caught up with the suspect on July 11th, while already under federal supervision at the time of his arrest. Before the arrest came, Lavor and at least one family member allegedly plotted a plan that would lead to 2 fatal crimes across the city of St. Louis. While 39-year-old Lavor Harmon is sitting behind bars for a disturbing act against a teen, he is also being looked at as a possible mastermind to other crimes. His actions in March of 2025 against a minor led to not only 1 but 2 people being unalive within hours of each other. From what is being reported, Lavor allegedly set a plan in place to have his sister, Lavonda Harmon, come up to St. Louis from Houston, Texas, where she was currently living, to bribe the family of the 15-year-old victim. The alleged plan was to give the father of the teen, again 41-year-old Kcorree Warren, hush money after his daughter confessed she was harmed by Lavor. Lavonda, a successful healthcare business owner, seemed to be willing to do anything to protect her predator little brother, at all costs allegedly. As a St. Louis native herself, she started her business in Missouri before taking it to Texas, where she was doing well for herself. So well that she traveled to Kcorree and the teen victim's home with another male on May 29th and offered Kcorree a lot of money to make the case against her brother go away. However, no amount of money was going to make him go to law officials and recant what really happened to his daughter. As mad as Kcorree was, he was determined to see Lavor pay the right way through the court system. Being the good man that he was, and an even better father, he did not want another young girl to be violated by the man again. His decision to not take the money did not go over well with Lavor and whoever else was on his side, because Kcorree was fatally shot in his home just 2 weeks later for allegedly refusing the money.
According to court documents, on July 8th, around 4:15, police arrived on Bayview Drive in Ferguson, swarming the area trying to learn what happened to Kcorree Warren, who was shot and killed in his home. Warren recently reported to police that his 15-year-old relative was raped by a man named Lavor Harmon. At the end of May, police say the sister of the suspect went to Warren's home, bribing him with $12,000 in exchange for staying silent and to drop the charges against her brother. Documents say Warren did not accept the bribe money, and about a month later, Warren was shot and killed in his home by an unidentified man.
After the tragic hit on Kcorree's life, law officials were able to make a connection with his unaliving to the Harmon siblings. Lavonda was also arrested on July the 11th and charged with tampering with a witness in a felony prosecution. A judge set her bond at $100,000 cash only during a July 15th hearing, and she wasted no time posting it as soon as possible. Going back to the day that Kcorree was unalived on July 8th, police in St. Louis also received a call about a shooting on the 3100 block of Vine Grove Avenue. When officers arrived, they found the victim, 19-year-old Andrew Klaus, lying on the ground shot in the head. He was pronounced at the scene. However, there was a connection to Kcorree's unaliving. Investigators put the pieces together quickly. 19-year-old Andrew's vehicle was located nearby where he was found shot, and someone had torched the white Kia in an attempt to get rid of evidence. The Kia was also the same getaway car just hours before that was used in the unaliving of Kcorree. In looking into the case more, detectives determined that Andrew appeared to also be the person that took Kcorree's life. So putting two and two together, it appears that the hitman, Andrew, that was hired to take the life of Kcorree, life had been taken from him by the same people who hired him. At the time the father of one was found, his family had no idea that he was unalive and were asking the public and authorities for help finding him. Most likely since the 19-year-old allegedly went on a hit, he had no ID on him and was a John Doe in the morgue. But since his family was looking for him, they finally got the confirmation. That was almost a week after the crime on the 13th of July.
According to court documents, that unidentified man was found murdered in St. Louis City later that day, and his car was burned nearby. St. Louis County prosecutors charged the sister, Lavonda Harmon from Houston, Texas, with tampering with a witness in a felony prosecution. Documents say the investigation by multiple agencies has connected the murder of Warren to the suspect and his family.
Initially, Lavor had a bond of $150,000 cash only, and his attorney even asked for a bond reduction when he was initially arrested. However, after two people were unalive in connection to his case, and after Lavonda bonded out paying $100,000 cash plus trying to pay the $12,000 in hush money, the judge decided it would be best to up Lavor's bond to $2 million cash only. The case is so disturbing in so many ways. How could a woman allegedly protect her brother behind a child raping case? I mean, the attempted payoff, the hitman's hitman, the burnt vehicle, plus the $100,000 cash bond paid immediately. It is like something straight out of a movie. If the family has money like that, Lavor should have used that money to get help for his obvious issues if he indeed did what they are accusing him of. As for the 19-year-old Andrew, he sadly already had a life consumed in the streets, and all over his social media, he was always toting a weapon. He decided his fate the moment he decided to allegedly take the life of another person, and most likely and sadly, it probably was not his first time unaliving someone. He was hired as an alleged hitman for a reason, so he probably had the street cred for the job. Only 19 and had his whole life ahead of him, but now it is over, and his young daughter has to grow up fatherless. The only real victim in this case is the Warren family. Kcorree was a devoted father with his own business who worked hard to give his 3 kids the world. His life was snatched from him for simply protecting his child and doing the right thing the right way, and it is not okay. Of his 3 kids, one of his daughters was said to be in the home when he lost his life and had to see her father take his last breath. Hopefully, Lavor's charges will be upgraded and he be held responsible for all the lives affected and lost behind his dirty ways. The whole situation makes me sick to my stomach, knowing that Lavor's family allegedly had his back and will ruin their own lives alongside him. I understand a family being united, but somewhere a line has to be drawn, especially when a child is harmed in the process and people are dropping like flies. My thoughts and prayers go out to all the people hurting behind this mass chaos, especially the 15-year-old who has to navigate being violated and losing her dad. It is all just too much. Let me know your thoughts in this situation. Also, please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.